All right, I just uploaded an Ace Bailey video and basically had to delete that and make this one because, and like I said in the other video, things have changed as soon as I post that video. He is now expected to report to the Utah Jazz on Saturday, which is from me filming this videos tomorrow. Here's the thing. The Ace Bailey situation is still very interesting because, and I said in another video, I believe the only way he would report back or report to the Utah Jazz is if some kind of agreement was made that he would be traded between when he becomes an actual employee of the Utah Jazz and some time of the trade deadline. I believe that the Utah Jazz won the best player available. They got him, regardless of how much he didn't want to be there. But he may be a piece to go get a better player like Jaylen Brown, more experienced player, Jaylen Brown. Worst case scenario, the Celtics and them can't get to an agreement. They still have Ace Bailey, who can become one of the best players in the program. I personally think Lauri Markkanen is going to be traded at some point between now and the trade deadline. To the Warriors, who knows? But I do think someone's going to pick up that contract and Lauri Markkanen. So the Ace Bailey situation is still interesting because how I see it is how Ace Bailey has been going about, the Ace Bailey and his representation have been going about this whole draft process is how people try to get Shedeur, bro. What I'm seeing from Ace Bailey is how people framed Shedeur Sanders through the NFL draft. And this is the reason why, this is part of the reason why Shedeur fell from a projected first round pick to the 5th round pick. Now you're having people months later talking about, these mock drafts don't mean anything and it has these players feeling some type of way. And while I do think mock drafts are just for fun and just basically making shit up, there are legitimate mock drafts out there that have player grades, intangibilities, all those good stuff. There are legitimate mock drafts out there that because they make them for a reason. These are professionals who make them. Now, I'm not talking about a YouTuber like myself that has no qualifications to make a mock draft that a college athlete should take seriously. I'm talking about people who are in the NFL, who talent scout for a living, and they have grades on these people. And you see some of these, some people like Travis Kelce. There's a clip I think of Travis Kelce a couple years ago reading his draft evaluation. How, so really none of this really matters. But it kind of does because these teams are the ones who are picking you, and they may not pick you based on how they evaluate you, right? So I say all this to say, it's just very funny that Ace Bailey literally is the one who did not work out for teams because he had his preferences and he didn't want to go there. So he even tried to appease. He didn't even try to entertain the idea of going to a place like Utah. He specifically name dropped some teams of which he would like to never play at in terms of being their player, being on their payroll. Shedeur did not do that. And it's just funny that we do see, in the same year cycle, we do see someone who's doing literally what people said Shedeur was doing, or at least how he was kind of acting through the draft process. I'm not saying that Shedeur did anything perfect or everything perfect. I'm not, the interviews, a lot of stuff, who knows. But it's just funny. They have a player who didn't work out at all for teams, and the team still drafted him. Which speaks to, again, either his trade value or how much the Jazz believe in his potential as a player, as an NBA level player. Which speaks very highly of the young man that you can be this disgruntled / this hard to work, difficult to work with, and still get drafted top 10 to a team you gave a absolute cold shoulder to. To me, that's a compliment that speaks to your how good you are. It really does. So there's a lot of pieces there. and components to this whole Ace Bailey situation. But I do find it very interesting. Now I need to see it to believe it. I need to hear reports of him in the building. I need the usual picture of him signing the contract, and I need to see him in clips Monday, Utah Jazz Summer League practice. That's what I need to see. I need to also see him play in the Summer League. Then I'm like, okay, cool. If nothing else, Ace Bailey is now an NBA player. Yeah, the situation is bizarre. It's very bizarre. I'm not sure what the method to the madness is. I do think this speaks badly on Utah. If nothing else, I don't think Ace Bailey or his representation is in the right at all in this process. You got drafted top 10, deal with it. But there is something to say about players not wanting to go to Utah. And I'm not a Utah Jazz fan, clearly. Utah Jazz fans are going to feel some type of way, and I get it. I am in a component that leagues, no matter what it is, soccer, football, hockey, baseball, basketball, whatever, when all your teams are doing well, it creates a better product overall. I'm not saying every single team every year needs to win a championship. I'm just saying when every team is highly competitive, and it makes every game matter. It makes, especially in football, when you have these Thursday night games or some of these Monday night matchups, every game is quality. When most every team is competitive, again, not have to win everything all the time, but like just highly competitive. I think it's important for Utah to get their program back in order so we can have more competition. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, unless you live in the area, you're not seeing a single Utah Jazz game. It kind of sucks that we're not going to be able to really see Ace Bailey in a single. It is funny. We're not going to see him in a single game televised this year. We're just not. So there's that. But so he's going to be hidden. It's going to be the ultimate. It's going to be the ultimate put your head down and grind away type stuff. Just like Shedeur, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think the Cleveland Browns have a single primetime game, which is crazy. I didn't even know that was possible. I thought, if nothing else, they were going to be forcibly put into some Thursday night game, but like I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think either there's no Sunday night games or just no primetime games, period. But the Cleveland Browns are like ultimately hidden away from the league this year. So that's very interesting. That is very interesting. And I don't know what to think of this Ace Bailey situation, but I will say that hopefully he does play, because I do want to see Ace Bailey play basketball, because he was at Rutgers, and I'm not watching that fucking program play basketball ever. So I want to see him hoop. Again, he's on the Jazz, so I'm not, but at least I can see clips of him playing an NBA game. I think he really developed his skills. I think he has a better skill set coming into the league than Scoot Henderson. And Scoot Henderson has started to find his legs. Took him a bit, but he's starting to find his legs, I think. I think people wrote him off too quickly. And I think that Ace Bailey did put a huge weight on his shoulder that he didn't need to put in, like, at all. He could have had a very calm rookie season, but now he's put his expectations so high now. And he really has to put more effort into his stock now. He just does. So we'll see what happens. I mean, he's going to be this team for 7 years. So he's going to grow up in Utah. I don't know what to make of that, but he's going to grow up in Utah. And there's something to say, again, like I said, for a lot of players not wanting to go to Utah. And I'm not going to lie to you, I think it is less about the team management and coaching staff currently. I think it's more about living in Utah. I'm not going to lie, I just don't think there's brothers who want to live in Utah and raise a family. Yeah, who knows? I just, so. But with that being said, it's still an NBA team. You're on the NBA team, so I don't feel bad for Ace Bailey. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts on this video about Ace Bailey and the situation. It's very interesting, but again, reports are saying he's going to report in on Saturday, and he will be playing the Summer League. Bronny James will be playing the Summer League. The Summer League, honestly, will be very cool And I honest to God may try to go catch a couple of summer league games in Vegas because it seems like this crop and then next year's crop of players, summer league is gonna be a very interesting spot to see. I'm funny enough excited to see Bronny play because I want to see how well he does this year compared to last year. Because this year he should be smoking everybody on the court in the summer league. I expect to see, if he's a serious basketball player, I expect to see Brian James be the best player in the summer league if he actually gets minutes. Like, I'm not, because he is. I don't know really like what to put Brian James. I don't know if like, okay, we give him serious minutes because he needs them, or it's like, hey, you're a player but you're still like going to be, you're on the actual main team, so we don't want you to get hurt, injured, so you're gonna, I don't know. I expect them to be like, no, Bronny, you're playing. You're playing till we're blowing people out, then you're gonna be benched. You know, I don't know. But like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and share. See you on the next one. Peace.